Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day.
Hello guys, this is Just One Guy, and it should be a pretty quick update today. So this is an update to Project Hermes, and what I've been working on is the Tooltip system. Now the funny thing about this, I actually put a Tooltip system in when I first started this project, but I advanced the program so much and deleted so much stuff that I wasn't for sure how it works, and I couldn't get it to work right. Now the funny thing is, it does work. You see right here, if I hover over something and it has a tooltip trigger, it will actually bring the tooltip up, but only if I hold it over the object for a couple of seconds. And that kind of messed me up, because originally I had this set for 0.5 seconds, and when I went over the object, I was going over it like this, trying to figure out why it wasn't working. And I did that for a good hour or so before I figured out that I actually had set it for a little delay. But I've set it up to work like this, and I've also got another one that's set up to work with the controller. So you can, when you hover over something with a controller and it has a trigger, it'll just show the controller version instead. So that's a pretty simple thing, but if it's not in the game, people will actually notice and they'll get mad, especially on PC. They like tooltips. They don't like to actually click on a box to see more information, and that's how you would normally do it on console, and that's how I'm used to doing it. But after watching a number of YouTubers and stuff like that play games, and watching people play PC games, I've learned that this is a really important system for your game, and that's the main way of delivering information if you're on a PC. So I'm happy with how it works. You can see it can move with the mouse and everything like that, only appears after a certain period of time. And I've actually set this up so when a player is using the program, they can actually make that appear slower or faster, just in case that gets annoying for someone. And that's all I've been doing. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about was when I first created this system, I was thinking about doing it over again, making the tooltip system over again, because it was so complicated in the way I was looking at it, and when I was looking at my code, that I couldn't figure out how it worked. And I thought, well, at this point it would just be easier to just completely redo the tooltip system. But when I was coming up with that idea, that would have taken a long time, and probably I would have had to do a couple of days of research to figure out how you do it, because you have to actually call some scripts that Unity has designed themselves for going over objects like this. And I got this from a tutorial, and then I watched the tutorial and I went through it, and then I wrote the code, and then I adapted the code for my particular use case. And I would have had to do that all over again, which would have cost me a lot of time. And as an indie developer, you don't have that much time. And so instead of writing it over again, I figured I'd just bite the bullet and figure out how my own code worked, because I did write the code. But sometimes I write code that's a little bit complicated, and then I go back to it and I have no idea how it works. But the thing was, if I had wrote this over again, it would have cost me so much time. And by just figuring out how it worked, it only cost me like an hour or so. And so that's one of the things I wanted to just share with people, because sometimes it's just easier to take the quicker route rather than creating a whole system over again. Because if I hadn't been recreating systems over and over again, I probably would have been done with this project by now. It would have only taken me about a month or so. What really has been taking me so long is just rewriting things over and over again, especially this camera code. That was one of the reasons I gave up on working on mobile, because it was just so infuriating and frustrating to work with Unity's touch system, and the way they had it set up with the just the way it works, and the way they treat touches as mouse touches, or the mouse input as a touch, and they try to make it easy but since the two inputs are inherently different, you can't treat a touch on a phone like it's a mouse, just because of how just because of the fact that a player can touch the screen multiple times, where there's no way to do that on the PC. And that was one of the things that really frustrated me, but I already had a solution around that, but I deleted the solution because it wasn't perfect, and then I tried to rewrite the solution, which took me an enormous amount of time. And if I had just accepted the imperfect solution, I'd probably be done with this project by now. But because I didn't, now I had to give up on that aspect of the project and come back to it when I finish. And so the lesson here was, sometimes it's just easier to take the easy way out and just get something done, rather than going and try to make it perfect, which is what I was going to try to do. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling at this point. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.